Hello and welcome to my channel, Making Crafts. Today I'm back working on the Boho Collab journal, and I know I wanted to do this early in the month and it's late in the month, but we're going to get this journal finished this week. So I've gone ahead and cut out a lot of the ephemera that comes with this digital kit, and some of them I've tried something different. So this is like a, I don't know what color to say. It's not really yellow, but it's not really brown. It's just like a, not a craft cardstock, but it just has a little bit more of a yellow tone to it. But I've gone ahead and I just printed some of the ephemera onto these pieces just to see what it would look like and just to see how it looks in the journal. I only did one page that way just to kind of see how everything goes. I've also got the kit here that was the luggage tag. This was a free kit. I will link to that one because I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with it. So I've just got bits and pieces here that I've cut out. And so the first thing I want to make, though, I'm going to set this aside. The first thing I'm wanting to make is just a little pocket sort of notebook thingy. I saw Gail make this and I haven't given it a try, but I want to try it. So I'm thinking that this paper would be good. Oh, let me show you. This is a page from the kit, and so is this one. I just printed them front and back. And so then I'm just going to fold up a pocket, about the size pocket that I want here. And I think that's a pretty good size. Let's just press that down. And then we're going to fold this in half. I'm trying to remember from when I watched her video. It's been several weeks ago that she made this little folder. It's kind of like a little folder. It holds tags and ephemera and things. And so it's been a couple of weeks. So I just want to fold that in half. And I have a little corner here that didn't want to fold. Okay, and so then you just fold back. Let's see, I got to figure out where she's going to be. I'm going to have to fold back just a little bit further than I would have, just so I can get most of her face in there. I don't want to go down the side of her face. I'm okay with, you know, the little side of her flowers being cut off. And then I'll just fold back on this side as well. And there we go. So there we have our little pocket. So now we just need to glue it up. And so today's video, if I didn't say at the beginning, is just going to be random makes for our boho journal. But even if you're not working on a boho journal, you could do the same thing with other style journals. So hopefully this will give you some ideas of things that you could do. So I've got to cut some things off here. I can't remember what she trimmed on hers, and I'm not really sure that I need to trim anything after looking at it. Maybe I'll just leave it like this. I know that she trimmed some spots, but I'm just going to leave it like this because I think it will be fine. So I am going to put some little thumb hole spots right in here, if I can get it to even up there. Well, let me see, how do I want to do that? So this one, I think I want to be a pocket with something in it this way. And then this one, I want it to be a pocket on the side here. So that's one I'm going to put my little thumb hole in. Just working my way through this because I haven't made one. Like I said, I haven't made one yet, and I just thought I better get one. I just thought I wanted to give it a try for this journal. And I may have mine even different, but I'm not sure. But that looks good. I like how that looks, so I'm happy with it. So I think I'm just going to add a little glue here at the bottom and at the top there. I may have to go back and rewatch her video to see how she did it again, because I've done forgotten. It's been several weeks, and I thought I would remember it, but I'm going to have to go back and rewatch it and see again. But I like the folder this way, so we'll be fine with this one. But I may go back and watch again so I can make one like she did. So I'm just gluing this little pocket here down. And I'm sure there's different ways you can make these anyway. And so then for this pocket, I'm going to glue across here. If you can see, I don't know if you can see, across the top only, since it's going to be a little side pocket. And then these are stuck up that way because all the rest of them are glued, so I think it'll be fine. And then this little flap, I'm going to glue at the top and at the bottom. I think I'm going to do a mass make session and do some of these. Do some pockets like this. Now, do we want a thumb hole here? I probably should have put one in before I glued it down, but I'm going to add one right there in the center. They're not really showing up. I think that I should have inked it. And then we will fill the pocket with some of the ephemera that I've cut out. So I'm just going to go over here and look and see what all I've cut out. And I really don't think it needs any decorating because the paper is so pretty. And then you've got this image here. So let's just look for little tags and journaling cards and things to put in the pocket. So this little bingo card would go good here in the pocket. And then in side pockets, you definitely could just put these little tags, or you could put these little journaling cards. And then on the side here, maybe this little journaling card. Or it's not really a lot of it showing up because the colors is just so so vibrant. Just trying to find. Let's see here. That might look good there. And then we have this, and what could we tuck behind it? Maybe the tag here. There we just have a little pocket with some things in it. I don't really like that one there because it's cutting her face off. So let's try this one there. I like that better. And then put this one on the inside. And then I did cut out some of the words from the kit. There's different words, and I thought we might could put a word on. I might could put this little card here, just right in there, so I have a little journaling spot, because that's tiny, that would fit. And then I thought maybe we could put the free spirit or dream on the pocket here. Oops, that fell over. Just gonna have dream right here. And then we need something to stick in that little pocket. So here's a ticket left over from the first week freebies. I think that would go good in there. It is going to cover her up a little bit, but it does fit there. So that is a something we could add there. And then for this one, we just have that in. I think that'll be good. And maybe we want to add a word back here as well. The word love, or we could add the butterfly. I don't know. Let's see. Here's another one of those little ovals from the kit, and some of them have words, some of them don't. So I'm just going to add that to that pocket. And what you could do when you're finished making the journal, you could put all the fussy cuts that you've already cut out that were extra. You could put those. Oops, that does cover up the thumb hole just a little. But you could put those in the pockets as well. So like these words and things, we could put them in here. And so whoever got the journal could use them in other parts of the journal as well. So I like that. So that's a simple little pocket that we can do. So I'm going to set that aside. Now while I was sewing, I went ahead and sewed around this postcard from the freebie on the first, I think it's the first or second week. And then I stenciled some on it, and then I stenciled some on the back, and I've inked it. So I have, that's another piece ready to go. We also have these tags. It's on a page, and so I've done is cut across the top and across the bottom and down the sides. And so you could cut these apart, but I printed on both sides, and I'm wanting to make a trifold tag. So we will see how it turns out. I'm not sure which part I want showing on the front and what I want on the back. So we'll fold it this way first and see. The only problem I'm going to have is I think when I printed front and back, the lines do not line up perfectly. So I'm just going to see if I can make this work. Even though that's sticking out, I think it will work. Okay, so now I have to decide what I want to be on the front. So we do have this line here, but we can fix that. We're not going to worry about it. And so it kind of matches up. I'm going to ink that. So I think it'll be fine. Let's go ahead and cut the corners all at the same time and see how that looks. Hopefully I can get them all to be about the same. There we go. And then I can ink any that has white spaces. And do I want her on the front, or do I want this on the front? I'm thinking I want the lady on the front. And then I could come down through here with maybe some crochet lace, and I might just bunch it up a little bit as I go and put it on there. Let's ink it first and see what it looks like. Okay, so I think the ink really covered up any of the white lines that did not match up when we were, when I printed it. Because it was 2 sheets of tile tags, so I just printed one on the back of another. You could also, I didn't think about it, but I could have just printed one of the plainer pages on the back and just had printed tags on the front, and then on the back had one solid looking print. So I think what I'm going to do is I want to make this one so that this is going to glue onto the page and be a pocket, and then this will just, you know, unfold like that. So I do want to add some lace or something here. I'm just looking around on my desk to see what I have laying around. Do I have anything that I want to add there other than the crocheted lace that I showed you? Kind of like, let me see if I can get into my little scraps here. Kind of like in, I don't know how big a piece I have. I kind of like the looks of this one. Oh, it would be big enough. Thinking about just adding that to the side. I think that would be pretty. So I'm just going to run, let me trim off the edge so it'll be straight. And what is the front and what is the back? It is really hard to tell. So I'm just going to run a bead of glue down the edge of my tag here. Now I'm not gluing it shut. I'm making sure I'm just running it down the edge there. And then, I think that's the right side. I'm just going to line this up here on the edge of my tag. Okay. Press that down and then just trim. Here we go. I like that. So we have that hanging over. And if I put this on the edge of a page, let me see if I can find my pages. Where did I lay those? If I put it on the edge of a page, then what I'm thinking is I can put it right here. This will hang over, but also, you know, you'll open it up like this and you'll have a pocket here, and then you'll open it up this way and you can write in it, and you can write in it this way as well. So I want to put a little tab right here so that you can tell that it's a pocket. But I'm going to use my larger punch for this because I want a larger tab. I'm just going to eyeball the center. That's close enough, and then I'm going to ink around that as well. I think the inking really did help, so I like the, I'm using ground espresso. Oops, I haven't been on camera the whole time. I just realized that one on camera. But I'm using ground espresso to ink most of the stuff in this book. Now here we do see the line. I don't know if it bothers me or if I want to add something there. I could, let me think what could go there. I have some of this 49 and Market Tranquility washi tape that I could use. Let me see, do I want the, maybe just put this little thin strip down through the center here, and that would help cover up that white line, and it gives it a little bit more color to the page. So I like that. That's the thing, is when you start decorating your journal and you need to cover up something like that, you wind up adding more, and I think it just makes it look better. For journals like this, just adding all bits and pieces. I love adding bits and pieces to it. So now here we have a line. We could just go ahead. You actually won't see that one. That one's going to be glued to the page, so we don't need to do anything with that. And maybe here we could add a little washi with some butterflies. Don't really like that one with it, so let me see. I got some washi the other day. I'm just looking around my craft room to see where I put it. And I have a link on my Amazon shop to this one if you want to see. And I can link to this one. This one I got from the Rubber Buggy. And then this one I can link to the Amazon, my Amazon product list. And then you can find this washi tape in that product list. There might be one in here that would go. This one looks like it might good. Just putting it right down the middle there. Or do we want to contrast more?
Hey. Hey, back away.
Ooh, what would this one look like? And I apologize for the noise in the background. My two dogs are playing right now and they're getting very excited. I'm trying to film in the evenings, and that's when they're the noisiest. They seem to nap during the day, and then after supper, they're just wild and wide open. I guess it's their last little bit of energy before bedtime. So I hope you can overlook that noise in the background. They are having fun together, so that's all. That's good that they're not fighting, or most of the time they get along. They're sisters, and they always seem to get along. So I'm just going to trim that corner off there and see what that looks like. And then I have to add some glue. This one seems to be a little bit, so the washi tape from 49 Market, I never have a problem with it peeling up. So let's get a thing of glue here. I was going to say tape, and we'll just run it along the glue, and I think that will hold it on. I do like the looks of this washi though, and I don't mind having to add glue to my washi. I do like the Stronghold washi as well, but it's just some less expensive washi. It does not want to stick though. So now let's see, what can we do? Let's see if we can make it stick. I had not tried it out yet, so it definitely does not want to stick. So that's something to keep in mind. It wasn't very expensive, so that may be that it's just not good washi. Okay. I was just trying to try out some different botanical prints, and let's just glue it down like we do paper, and it should stay down then. Okay, there we go. So I do like the looks of that there. So we have our trifold tag pull out for our journal page. So we'll set that aside. So there's several of these little frames in the kit. So what I want to do is I want to go ahead and cut out the inside of the frame now, and then we'll decide what's going to go on, under it. So let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and trim those out, and then I'll be right back with you. So for one of these, I thought I would show you how I do it. So I just push my scissors through, and then I cut to the edge of the circle, the white part of the circle. Then I cut to the edge there, and I'm just going around the circle, or the oval, and doing that, cutting to the edge. And I am using my fussy cut scissors because when you get down to that little point there, you can just get a minute little cut in there. And then I'm just going to come around and cut around the image here, as well as the outline of the oval. It is a little tricky. Sometimes I leave white space around my fussy cuts, but for this I'm not going to leave any white space around the butterfly. And if you do leave any white when you're cutting, all you have to do is go in and ink it, and that will, because this is kind of brown anyway, just ink it with some brown ink, and that will cover up any white that you left. So I'm just going to finish cutting this. I'm going to do this side the same. I'm going to cut around the flower and cut around the edge here. Okay, so I've gone ahead and I have cut these out, the insides of them out, and I'm just going to back them with some vellum. So some of this is cardstock. I printed this one on cardstock, but then this one is just on, I think, just regular copy paper, and then this is on 32-pound premium paper. So I'm going to back some of them with vellum, and then we'll see how much of my vellum I have left. This is, I think, my last sheet, and then if all of them will fit, that would be great. So those are going to fit really good. So what I want to do is I want to ink them first. So I'm just going to get, since these are thin paper, I'm going to just get my glue book, which can be my inking book as well, and I'm just going to try to ink around the edges, inside edges. Like I can ink the outside edges once I get the vellum on, it'll thicken them up, but I don't want to tear my frames, so I'm just going to go around the inside like that. So by inking the inside, I think that it really helps cover up any mistakes that you may cutting, or anything that, if it's not perfectly oval, perfect circle when you're doing that. So yeah, so now let's lay these back out how I want to put them on here. Maybe this one here. And the reason I'm doing it this way is there was a little yellow mark on the vellum, so I'm trying to cover that up. Trying to see if I can find a piece that it won't show through. That one it doesn't. So let's see, would this one fit up here though? I Yes, it will. And then we're going to turn this one, though, sideways. Maybe here. There we go. That'll be fine. So I'm just going to add glue to the back of these just to attach them to the vellum. And you could just use a smaller piece of vellum on the back, but I'm just trying to thicken these up with the vellum as well. If I just cut a small piece, I think it's still going to be too flimsy. I have them all glued down. I have to tell you, every time I'm trying to speed through, fast forward through some of the gluing and things like that and the inking so it's not such a long video. But every time I stop talking to do something like that, I just stop talking and work on it, my girls get quiet. So I want you all to see they're actually quiet right now. But as soon as I get back to talking, they'll get back to making noise. I don't know if it's just making them excited that I'm filming. This happened last night too. I was trying to film, and the whole time I was filming, they were noisy. But last night they were fussy. They wanted me to stop filming and hold them. I have them very spoilt. There we go. We have our little pocket, or our little frame here. And some of these we'll use as pockets. We may use them all as pockets. I'm not sure yet. I'm just getting my ephemera put together, and then once I get my journal sewn together, then I'm going to decide where everything goes and how we're going to use it. I definitely imagine the larger one being a pocket. I don't know about the smaller ones, what I'm going to do with them, but I knew I wanted vellum on them, and then I'll go from there. Okay, I'm just trimming the vellum around the edges. Try not to cut into the paper edges, because if I do though, I'm still going to go back and ink the edges so it won't show up. Because some of these I've inked and some of them I have not. The cardstock one I inked, the flimsier one I was waiting to be backed with the vellum so that when I ink it, it's a little stronger. It's not so flimsy. I'm excited to be working on this journal. I've been thinking about it for quite some time and wanting to work on it. Just finding the time to sit down and start it has been my problem. So I am happy to get started on it. I'm going to save some of the scrap of vellum, the smaller pieces, but the ones like this I'll just trash. I can't really use those for anything, but like this one I'll save because I may can use it. So there we have those. So I'm just going to set all this, I'm setting all this in a pile so that I'll be ready to decorate once I get all of it put together. From the freebie from one of the weeks, and I will link to it, like I said, this is the luggage tag, and so I didn't have a chance to work on it that week, so I'm going to work on it now, and I'll try to link below, and if the link doesn't work, just let me know in the comments, and I will, I'll work on it, because I know last time when I shared a link for this kit, there was some issues with the link, but I finally got it figured out, so hopefully it'll work this time as well. But anytime a link doesn't work, just ask me and I will go back and see if it's something on my end that I've done, or if the links, if you know, sometimes older links may change and it's not there anymore, but these links should still be active because this is this month's collab. Okay, so I think what I want to do is I want to cut this out, and I think I'll use my X-Acto knife for that one. When it's a square or a rectangle, I normally use my X-Acto knife. If it's a circle, I just cut like I showed you before. And I just use a ruler, a thick ruler, and I just gently cut. So like I said before in my other videos, I don't press real hard. I just slowly trim till it cuts through. That way, I don't risk cutting myself or messing up my project. I just lightly cut through. And I am leaving some of the corners. I'll have to go back and get those, but the ruler is covering it up where I can't see, so that's the only thing. So I'll have to, so I didn't want to cut the square too large, or the rectangle too large, so I'm just going within the lines. Okay, that one's going to have to be one more time. Now I did print this freebie on cardstock, so this is going to be a little stiffer and a little harder to trim with your X-Acto knife. So, and anything that's left, I'm going to ink it in on the inside too, so it should be fine. Any little white lines is left. So I've gone ahead and cut the tab out of the freebie here, and I'm just going to fold it, and I've inked some of it. I need to ink just a little bit more, looks like. And then I'm going to attach that to the side of this name card, and so we're going to have that slide in and out. So I'm going to add glue along the edge here. We'll have to decide here, which side do I want it sliding in and out? I'm thinking this side, so yeah, I'm going to add glue on this side along the edge here, and then also along the top here. Then I'm just going to fold it shut. And I forgot to ink that. I think it'll be okay. So we're just going to glue the tab onto this piece. This is a very simple project here. I think I may sew around this when I get done though. I may sew around the luggage tag. So there we go. And then we'll just slide it in like this. Let me get it slid in there. Okay, so I added too much glue up through there, so let me see if I can slide through there and just take some of that loose. So I'm just gonna, so I should have just put a little bit of glue on the edge. So if you haven't made yours like this yet, I know this is several weeks old. If you haven't made yours like this yet, keep in mind to just go glue along the edge instead of as much as I glued. So I'm just sliding it in there and just breaking it free some until I get how much I need. I think that's pretty good there. I wish I had, no, I don't want vellum there. I know what I want there. I'm going to, it may be too late. Let me see if I can open this back up. That's me, always deciding at the last minute what I want to do. I think I want to add a piece of acetate to that window first. Okay, so let's go back and cover up the front with some acetate. So I'm just going to glue the acetate down, and then I can trim around it once I get it glued down. That'll make a good window pocket for this luggage tag. And I'm thinking about this luggage tag, I'm thinking about putting it in the front of the journal so that it is, you know how like a book plate would normally be where you could put your name and everything, that it's your journal. That's what I'm thinking it would work for this, is to do that. So I'm just going to try it and see. So I'm just going to glue this down. I do need to make sure it's not on the fold line there. And just glue here. And I'm going to trim around it. Just that on the fold line there. There we go. So then let's just fold it together. So I do need this to fit in here. So I see now I've just got a little space for a bead of glue. So I'm just going to go along the edge there. Hopefully I don't go too far over. So let's just close that up and see how that looks. Trying to line the top edges up. Just got a bit of a mess here on my desk. I may have to take a pause and clean up so we can continue creating. So this is our pocket that we're going to slide it into. So let's see if it fits. There we go. I think that'll be fine, because I can always trim a little bit off the bottom there. And then along the bottom here, I think I'm just going to add a little piece of lace. And then I have this butterfly from the kit that I've cut out. It was on one of the journaling cards, and so I liked it. So I decided to cut it out as a fussy cut instead of using the journaling card. And then I'm just going to add it down here at the bottom with my lace. Just dress it up a little bit. And this is just more lace out of my little scrap bin. And then I'll just add the butterfly right here. I think that would look good. I'm not going to glue the wings all the way down. I want them to be able to bend up a little bit. So there we go. And let's just trim this off a little. I'm going to turn around to my paper trimmer and trim it off. Then we'll just slide it in here. See how that looks. I do need to go back and ink everything, but I do like that. That's pretty. So let's go ahead and put a hole in the top here, and then I'll have to figure out what kind of lace is going in the top. Okay, so I went ahead and glued it, so I can't actually stitch around it now because I couldn't get to this side. So I'm just going to leave it unstitched. For the lace, I'm just going to add a little piece of this like we put on the bottom, but I'm going to add it into the little hole here. And then for the back, I'm going to put a pocket on it. So I'm going to show you that in just a second. And honestly, you could change this up. Whoever gets this journal could change this up, and instead of having this card in there, they could always add a picture there instead. So there's the card, and then we're just going to flip it over, and I'm going to add this little card here. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to glue it on 3 sides so that it is a pocket, and then we'll find something else to put in that pocket from the kit. So then we'll just add it right in here, just kind of centering it up, with the edges and the bottom being about the same width apart. And there is some journaling cards in the kit, so any of those would work. I'm thinking this would be perfect. So I just want to put a little tab on it. So there's another tab that comes with this one, so we may add it. Actually, I don't want the 2 different faces, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my tab punch, and I'm going to look around for a piece of scrap left over, and I'm going to punch a tab out of it. Here's a piece of scrap that's left over, so I think that would make a good tab. So let's see here. Normally I fold it, but I'm not. I'm just going to glue those together. So we'll just add the tab to this. There are other journaling cards. I may want to look and see. That one's got the girl on it. I don't want to put some of the same pictures together. I'm about out of Fabri-Tac. I may have to switch glues. Okay, so I'll just add that about in the center there. And flip it over and do the same thing. I love putting the ephemera together, just playing, you know, really not having a plan, just playing is what I'm doing. And I think that's so much fun just to take time and do that. Hopefully this isn't really a boring video for you, but I know I'd promised to take you along with me creating this one, and I know it's not that exciting, some of the stuff that I'm doing, but hopefully you get some ideas just by watching and find ways to use this kit. Or any of the other kits. A lot of the kits come with the same things. A lot of Natalie's kits have the same, kind of, not the same prints, but the same ephemera and things, and so you could do the same thing with just a different print. So I think that's going to be pretty right there. I also have all those words. I wonder if we should add one of the words to it, maybe like a free spirit. Could add the free spirit up here. I think that's too much. Okay, so I think I'll add the free spirit right there. My glue is acting up tonight. It's about done for. I'm gonna have to go buy some glue tomorrow, I think, when I go out. Okay, there we got the free spirit there, and then I have lots of glue on my counter here. I'm looking at this right here, and I think I want to take the lace out, and this, I think that this hole here needs decorating up just a little bit. So I think I'm going to come in with some of these reinforcement labels and just put one at the top there just to add a little bit of more style to it. And I think I'm going to go with the gold. I think that will be pretty. There we go. I think that dresses it up just a little bit more instead of just having that plain Now they had some reinforcement pieces came with the kit, but I am horrible at cutting out circles, so I know circles that small, I am not going to be able to cut them to look like anything when I get done. So I would rather just use my stickers for that. Now if you had a small punch, you could punch those out, but I don't think I have a punch small enough to fit those. I need several different more circle punches. I have several sizes, but not tons of sizes. Now do I want that to be, I guess I could do it like on the top there. So there we go, we have our luggage tag. So that's another item ready to go in our journal. So I think we're at a good stopping point. We've made quite a few pieces for our journal. And so I thought I would show you real quick what all we've made. And I may go and stitch around these and I may not. I haven't decided yet. So this is our tri-fold tag that's going to actually be a pocket in our journal, and then it's going to be a fold out. I showed you this, I made this off camera. It's just a stenciled postcard that I've sewn around. And then we made these together, just some of the frames with vellum behind them. We got quite a few of those that we're gonna add in our journal. We made this little booklet here, and we filled it up, and I may add more stuff to it. This one keeps falling out, so I may have to add something different in there. And then we made our luggage tag with our pull out. You can put your name, address, and phone, which would be a great way to mark your journal like a book plate. And I may put this in the front of the journal. That was my thoughts. And then it's going to be just clipped in, because then on the other side we have a pull out, a journaling card. So that is our projects for today, and our butterfly there. So I think we got quite a few done. We still don't have enough, because once we put our journal together into the cover, and here's our journal. So we've gotten that far in the journal, just sewing the tabs and things on. So I want to finish decorating up some of the pages that need sewing and different things before I sew it into the journal. Into the cover. And once I sew it into the cover, we'll start adding these, and we'll realize then that we need more pockets and more things. So I think this is a good stopping point though, and so I'm going to stop here, and then you can see my other video where I add the tabs to this, and you and just be sure to come back in a few days, and I will have another video finishing up or working on this journal. I'm not sure how far I'll get in that video, but we'll continue to work on this journal in that video. Well, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.